Now to the fight to save the cheetah. These sleek and elegant animals are on the endangered list. There are only about 15,000 of them left in the world, mostly in Africa and in Iran. I recently traveled to South Africa, where there is an extraordinary program to try to protect them. No creature on Earth can outrun the cheetah, 45 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. Even so, cheetah enthusiasts have found themselves in a race against time.
Give me paw.
Here at the Wild Cheetah Center outside Johannesburg, South Africa, they are fully aware of the common portrait of the cheetah around the world, breathtakingly fast. But they are hardly as furious.
They will not confront a leopard. Even a vulture can chase away cheetahs. So they are much more fragile than any of the other big cats.
In recent decades, they've fallen victim to more than just their fierce cousins. They become the target of farmers who are desperate to keep their own livestock alive, often dinner for the cheetah.
The cheetah then is oftentimes shot.
Which is why they started this refuge in the foothills of South Africa. They saved the cheetahs, even giving farmers money not to shoot them.
You don't go to him, he will come to you, and then eventually he will start seeing you as a friend.
And how much does the tail weigh?
I'm not too sure, but you can see it's heavy.
Substantial.
Yeah, it is.
Since opening in 1975, more than 750 cubs have been born here, an incredible feat since just 1,000 cheetahs remain in South Africa. Some of the cheetahs have been sent to American zoos here in Reno and in Cincinnati. But the move the center is most proud of is their return to the wild.
3 captive cheetahs are, right now as we speak, being released.
But it is not easy. First putting the cheetahs on hundreds of acres of land, still surrounded by fence, an outdoor halfway house, they call it, to make sure the cheetah's skill of hunting hasn't been lost. They took us by safari. On our way, we passed through African wild dogs, who also live here, known for their pack mentality. Their sound reflects their readiness for the hunt. But we found it was the cheetahs who were most apprehensive. Of the 148 cheetahs released, only 60% have survived. It used to be when they would release a cheetah back into the wild, they would have no idea if the animal had survived. But they have a new tool now, a GPS tracking collar that they actually put on the animal. They're able to track its every move. The effort here has drawn visitors from all over the world, as far away as Memphis, Tennessee.
Back in the States, we picture cheetahs as these predators on the prowl, but they're really tremendous victims.
Here, workers have not fully won the race to save the cheetahs, but it's clear the cheetahs have won their hearts. No question about that.
But we want to turn back to David Muir now on the wildlife, because he was there with the teams trying to clean the animals soaked in oil.
Today, our first look at the baby pelicans, the young birds rescued from the spill. Their cries, we're told, are calls for their parents. They have now rescued about 300 birds here. As workers hold their beaks, the pelicans are soaked in, of all things, vegetable oil.
We use some kind of light oils that we heat up, and we actually work it in the oily feathers. It loosens the oil up.
After the oil comes a series of baths using diluted dish detergent to loosen the oil, and toothbrushes to protect the pelicans' eyes. And then hair dryers. Look at the little ones today, their feathers blow dried.
The same blow dryers that you use on grooming dogs.
And then the pelicans are brought outdoors to makeshift pools where they preen and refurbish their own down coat. They're watched for 10 days before they're then flown to Florida and released.
When you set them free in Florida, how do you know that they're not going to want to come back to the Gulf?
Yeah, well, that's a risk. The young birds might stay there longer. The adult ones want to go back to where their babies or their nests are, and there's that risk.
That risk of coming back. But David, do you have any hard numbers about how many survived the trauma?
Yeah, that's the difficult thing, Diane. They are tagged, but it's hard to know where these pelicans end up. There's a minority of scientists out there who say it might be better to euthanize these birds, but these rescuers say they've answered the call at many spills. They've seen the success firsthand, and we saw the birds today. A remarkable before and after picture. They'll be in Florida by the week's end.
All right, David Muir reporting from the Gulf tonight.
One of the doctors coming to the rescue, usually caring for human newborns, but she took the call. Tonight, more of those remarkable images from inside the kind of maternity ward we rarely see. This is a baby gorilla just 3 days old now. The video filmed by the San Diego Zoo. Look at that little face just moments after an emergency C-section. The gorilla who gave birth, Imani, 18 years old, in labor for 12 hours, when unexpectedly there were complications, forcing the veterinarians to take drastic measures, a rare C-section, in an attempt to save both lives. And they did. And this evening we've learned that they've actually brought in doctors who normally take care of newborn human babies. Instead, now helping that baby gorilla.
She's a lot stronger. When she grabs your hand, it's very difficult to release her grip because she's used to that. That's her instinct to grab her mom. And she can grab you with both her hands and her feet.
C-sections may be common in humans, but they are extremely rare for gorillas. This is the first time for the San Diego Zoo. Tonight, that little baby weighing 4 pounds, 6 ounces. She could weigh more than 215 pounds when she grows up. She's not out of the woods yet, though, still in critical condition. Doctors, though, optimistic.
I never anticipated that I would have to care for a gorilla, but all of my work that I've done with human babies is identical to what I'm doing with this baby.
And like a human baby, she's entertaining the doctors with those early moves, those early sounds.
She kicks, she's vocal, she looks around, she can hold her own head up, which is pretty amazing.
And as for her mother, back outside on this Saturday and having a snack.
The mom is doing wonderful. I've been in this business for 22 years now, and these animals never cease to amaze me.
A face only a mother and an entire country could love.